This is the burial place of Freeman Ballard Shed. It's a mausoleum, which is a structure built above ground that holds the remains of the deceased. Freeman Shed was born in Lowell in 1844. When he was just 14 years old, he went to work at a drugstore called E.A. Staniel's. It was located at the corner of Middlesex Street and Central Street in downtown Lowell, right where the parking lot for the Washington Savings Bank is, if you're familiar with that area. There was another young man who worked there. His name was Eli Hoyt, and Hoyt and Shed became lifelong friends. Freeman Shed enlisted in the Union Army, even though he was only 17 years old. He joined the 33rd Massachusetts Infantry Regiment. Now, Freeman Shed's unit fought in many of the largest battles of the Civil War, both in the Eastern and the Western theaters, at Gettysburg, the Battle of Atlanta. And so he saw much of the country and he had extensive experience. When he returned to Lowell, he went back to work at the drugstore. And he found that Eli Hoyt, in his absence, had created a men's cologne, which he bottled and called Hoyt's Cologne. It was very popular at the time, but Shed had somewhere in his life developed a knack for marketing. And he said, let's call it Hoyt's German Cologne. And Hoyt said, well, it doesn't have anything to do with Germany. But Shed said, well, people won't know that, and they'll find it very exotic, and they'll buy more of it. And that was true. Another innovation of Freeman Shed was that this was a time of inexpensive colored printing. This is when baseball cards became a thing. And every business had their own trading cards, as did Hoyt's German Cologne. But Shed's innovation was to take a bunch of the cards, drop them in a bucket of cologne, fish them out, let them dry, and he had invented the scented advertising card. So the company was very successful. Shed and Hoyt became very wealthy, but that could not protect them from tragedy. And Eli Hoyt died in his 40s of tuberculosis. Shed also suffered a personal tragedy when his young son, who he named Eli Hoyt Shed, died at age 8 of meningitis. Later in life, Freeman Shed became very philanthropic. He donated money to Lowell General Hospital for tuberculosis ward in memory of Eli Hoyt. He donated 50 acres of land to the city of Lowell to be used as a public park, and that's what we know as Shed Park. He also donated this beautiful 5-foot-high Japanese vase to the city of Lowell. That's now on display at the Ballard Memorial Library. And in his will, he wrote that if his daughter died without having any children, that $100,000 of the Shed estate would go to the city of Lowell to beautify and improve Shed Park. And the daughter outlived her father, but she did die in the 1920s without any children, and so the city got the money. And so that's the story of Freeman Ballard Shed.